And welcome back to Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock, and I just finished talking with Joe Griffin about the women's golf team, and now it's time to talk a little bit about the men's golf team. And unfortunately, head coach John Gordon couldn't be with us today, but Sports Information Director Kyle Wright is with us to talk a little bit about the men's golf team. Kyle, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Coach Gordon here in spirit. We've got his picture at least. And was able to talk to him extensively before the show. He gave me all the tidbits that I'm about to give you are actually from Coach Gordon. So I was able to get a lot of good information from him, and he's very excited about the team that he's got together for this spring.
All right, well, let's go ahead and start with the freshman class and talk a little bit about Brandon Bauman.
Brandon Bauman, freshman, as you said, from Franklin County High School, which Franklin County's been putting up some really low numbers in recent years, a very strong program. Coach Gordon's comments, by far our most powerful player on the team. Once he dials in the wedges, look out. Biggest plus is in the classroom, so getting the job done in the classroom as well. Brandon had a solid fall and is right on the doorstep of cracking the top 5 for the traveling lineup.
All right, well, looking forward to that. Again, a freshman out of Brookville. Moving on, a freshman out of Newcastle, Jacob Campbell.
As you said, Newcastle, so that's got to be a good thing since you yourself are from Newcastle. Jacob actually is in his first semester this spring here at IU East. He went to IU Bloomington during the fall semester and then is joining our campus and our golf program for the second semester. Coach Gordon's comments on Jacob, transferred in this spring and in his first week of practice for the spring season already showing the effort needed to compete for the traveling squad.
All right. Looking forward to seeing a former Trojan on the Red Wolves roster. Out of Knightstown, another freshman, Curtis Robbins.
And Curtis, that's the guy we probably need to have in this chair. He's got quite a story. As you mentioned, from Knightstown. I'll use Coach Gordon's words. Curtis is a member of the U.S. military, in addition to being a student and a golfer, excels in the classroom, and does a great job of managing his time between practice, school, and military responsibilities. So Curtis is a guy who's really got it together and not only serving our school and our golf program, but more importantly also our country. So a great story there.
Definitely thankful to have him along with us. Freshman also out of Newcastle, Cole Schofield.
Another Newcastle product, so got 2 from their program. Cole's a part of 3 sectional champion teams at Newcastle. Here's Coach Gordon's comments. Cole, athletic and a great work ethic. Most golfers' scores when they go up from high school to college, their scores go up, but Cole's dropped dramatically, which shows that hard work does pay off. He was our leading scorer this past fall, averaging just over 77 per 18. Got some stats here. It was 77.78 to be precise. Again, first on the team. He was third in his very first tournament. It came down to several people tied for third place, and we only had 1 plaque. It was our tournament. So what we did was a chip off. They all got 1 shot from just off the green on the practice green and said whoever's closest to this particular hole gets this plaque, and Cole, 1 swing, 1 plaque. He got third place on that 1 swing. Also was second at the Earlham Invitational to help IU East win the team championship. And then he was 17th at the conference fall preview, which tied for the team best. And that's important because that fall preview, the scores there are used to determine the all-conference team. So he's got a leg up as far as maybe making the all-conference team.
All right, looking forward to seeing it. Ben Tinkle, a freshman out of Hagerstown.
Another strong freshman, as you mentioned, from Hagerstown. He was the first Hagerstown men's golfer ever to qualify for the high school state meet. And also, he was the #1 singles tennis conference champion as a senior as well. So he's a multi-sport talent. And if the golf thing doesn't work out, maybe the tennis program could find some use for him. Coach Gordon's comments, Ben was a state qualifier in high school. Plus, I'm not sure if he's ever seen a B in the classroom. He's a straight A student, was our second leading scorer in the fall. His hard work will definitely pay off. His fall average was 79.89, which was second on the team, and he led the team. He finished 6th at IU East Harbor Links Invitational, which is a really, really, really tough course. Also, I believe the longest that we play, so already off to a strong start to his career.
All right, the other freshman for right here at Richmond High School, Evan Williams.
Evan, and switch my Coach Gordon's notes here, as you mentioned, from Richmond High School, where he also was a part of 3 sectional championship teams. Coach Gordon's comment on Evan, probably our best athlete on the team. He believes he can easily break into the starting lineup with a little more consistency. If you look at Evan's scores from the fall, he had some of the lowest scores on the team, but also a few of the highest as well. So Coach Gordon's looking for him throw out some of those high numbers and keep it all low numbers. And Evan's someone who could definitely be playing in the top 5 for the Red Wolves.
All right, with 6 freshmen on the team, pretty big freshman recruitment recruiting class, right?
It is. In past years, it would get to the spring season, it might be down to 5 or 6 players, and which is good. I mean, you need 5 to play, but the more people you have to push those top 5 or 6, just the harder everyone's going to work and the better everyone is going to be. So with that large recruiting class, along with the upperclassmen we're about to talk about, it's been a good combination to lower the scores for everyone across the board.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the sophomore class out of Liberty, Indiana, Cody Frame.
Cody Frame, as you mentioned, Union County High School. That's actually Coach Gordon's alma mater, so they have that connection there. They both went to the same high school. Cody was a 2-time conference champion at Union County. From Coach Gordon, definitely one of the best putters on the team, and all parts of his game are solid. His fall average was just over 80. He had the 4th best fall average on the team in the fall, and he also had the 4th best fall average on the team last spring, was part of the regular lineup with an average of around 83.
Okay, the next sophomore out of Salem, Indiana, Lance Hackman.
Lance Hackman out of Brownstown Central High School, which is kind of a small school golf power in the southern part of the state, comes from a golfing family. Not only Lance himself, you can see his dad pretty much at every tournament, and he's got a sister that's a very high-level golfer. So Lance comes from a golfing family. Coach Gordon's comments, Lance finished 3rd last year at the River States Conference Tournament. His best rounds have come in our biggest tournaments. Plus, he's an A student in the classroom, just a great student athlete. His fall average just over 80. He had the 3rd best fall average on the team. He also was 17th at the fall preview for the conference. Again, tied for the team best, and that gives him a leg up toward all conference honors later on. And we mentioned last year, his freshman year, tied for 3rd at the conference tournament, including his best round of the whole season with a 74 in the first round. And he was 2nd on the team last spring with a spring average of 80. And he also, one last thing, also important, represented the IU East golf team on the conference championship character team. So just a good golfer, good guy.
All right. Next sophomore is Tyler Pearson from Richmond.
And this is a big deal. Tyler, basically kind of a homeschool high school career, and we'll talk about why in a second. Played last season at Ball State, a Division I program right up the road. Circumstances were such that it was good for him to come home academically, and then he was here at IU East as a student last semester and has decided to join the golf program for this semester. Coach Gordon's comments, a game changer and a program changer. His work ethic is second to none, and he hopes that it rubs off on the rest of the team. He played in 6 events for Ball State last year, again, a Division I program with an average of about 77. And then what we'll call his high school career, he was actually homeschooled, so he didn't play the traditional IHSAA season, but he was rated the top player in the state in a computer program that rates the junior programs that go around the state. I'll read some of these accolades. 2-time Plantations Junior Tour Player of the Year. He was the Golf Week Junior Player of the Year once. Won the Golf Week Junior Tour Fall Season Points Challenge. Junior Tour All-American, so you get the idea. Right. As Coach Gordon said, a game changer, someone that most likely will play at the top of the lineup and put some low numbers on there.
Okay, next up, Mitchell Richardson.
Mitchell from LaPel High School spent a year at Northern Kentucky prior to coming to IU East. From Coach Gordon, another powerful player, played his best golf last year at the conference tournament, shot a 77 in the first round to help position us in 2nd place after the first round of the conference tournament. He was 3rd on the team last year in scoring average, and he's one of several lefties on this team, Cole and Ben being a couple of the others. I know when I go to tournaments, it's as a photographer, and having all these lefties, it gives me a workout because you need to be on one side of the green or on the tee box to get photos of righties, and I got to be totally on the other side for lefties. So if nothing else, I know this group with multiple lefties, I'm going to get a workout getting photos of these guys as well.
Right. All right, the last sophomore. Tell us a little bit about John Schaefer.
John Schaefer out of Fort Wayne Northrop. IU East, we've just got a great history with athletes out of Fort Wayne Northrop in recent years, as Jacoby Claypool and Aaron Thomas on the basketball team also came from Fort Wayne Northrop. Coach Gordon's comments, John was a multi-sport athlete in high school, and having a chance to focus on golf and golf alone during his college career has definitely improved his game. A very powerful player. John cracked the lineup last year. He was 5th on the team as far as scoring average, and he maintained that spot in the top 5 in the fall. He was 5th on the team with his 18-hole spring average of 85.7. And
what can you tell us about the sophomore class?
Sophomore class, they're kind of all of them, or a good majority of them, were in the lineup last year, kind of formed the backbone of the team. And they've got the depth, they've got the experience. There is a big difference between college golf and high school golf. You're playing much longer you're at the same courses, but you're playing from all the way back as far as the tee boxes, which isn't always the case in high school. Also, you're playing in March and April, which is just different weather conditions from April and May, which is what the high school season is. So in the later part of the spring, you might be used to getting a roll of a good number of yards. You're not getting any roll in the mud in the spring.
Right.
So just got that presence and can let the freshmen know, hey, you had a great high school career, but it's a little different playing this far back in these kind of weather conditions, and they've got that experience they can provide.
All right, the lone junior on the team, Chase Brookshire. Tell us a little about him.
Chase from Northeastern High School after spending a year at IUPUI. This is something you don't say about golfers too often. 2 years as an all-conference golfer and also part of a semi-state cross-country team. That's not a crossover you have a whole lot going from cross-country in the fall to golf in the spring. Coach Gordon's comments, he's a player respected by all his teammates. He does a great job balancing school, work, and golf practice. And a golf-related story Coach Gordon wanted to tell. Chase stuck a driver to within 8 feet from 275 yards away on a tucked right pin at the Delaware Country Club once, which much easier said than done.
Right.
So last year, Chase was just outside the top 5, but he did crack the lineup for multiple events and helped the Red Wolves out in his first year here last spring.
All right. Anything else you can tell us about the team?
Well, Coach Gordon had a few comments about the team as a whole. He wanted to say just fun to be the coach of these student athletes. They've got great work ethic, especially in the classroom, well over a 3.0 average or a B average for the entire team. And if you know Coach Gordon, one of his favorite saying is, you got to be a golfer or you got to be a player. And just as far as building the program, his comments were, the competition for making the traveling squad, which is the top 5, is getting fierce. Going into this spring and next fall, you definitely need to be a player to travel. And on Coach Gordon's standards, if we've got guys who are players, that means this program is definitely going in the right direction.
All right. Anything you can tell us about the schedules we get ready for the spring
I can do that. Similar to the women's team, they're going to start off by going south. They're going to go to the Point University Skyhawk Invitational. That's actually Coach Griffin, or Joe Griffin's former stomping grounds. He was at Point when it was known by a different name. So they'll start out there, take a couple weeks off, then they'll go down to the Lindsey Wilson schedule. That's in Columbia, Kentucky. Lindsey Wilson pretty much good at everything they do, so we know that they're going to face some strong competition there. Then hosting their own tournament on April 1st. I believe it'll be 36 holes in one day, so bring your lunch pail, and you're going to be playing a lot of golf that day on April 1st. That'll be at Liberty Country Club. Then following week, which is April 7th and 8th, going to the IU Kokomo tournament, where IU East is the defending champion, so look to defend our title there. And that gets everything ready for the River States Conference tournament, which is April 17th and 18th. 54 holes in 2 days. And it's a winner-take-all event. So the team champion goes to nationals, and the medalist goes to nationals, or the individual champion. And if they're from the same team, oh well. It's not one of those deals where the team champion goes and then the next best golfer on another team goes. It's team champion, individual medalist, and if you're one of those, then you get a ticket to nationals.
All right. Looking forward to a great spring season out of them as well.
We're looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks for your time today, Kyle.
As always.
And we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Wolf Center. We'll take a look at the scores from this past week and ahead at the schedule when we return on Inside IUE Sports.